Hello guys, this is Gwendy from NSTD Studios, and today I'm going to show you how we apply a color palette in our Clipstudio Paint EX animation folders to speed up our coloring process. Back in the day, we used to have color palettes in a separate layer to pick colors from. At one point, we also used the subview with the character model sheet open and pick the colors from there. This also gave us a good visual guide on what color each part of the character is. However, we have since moved on to a new method, and all it requires is an initial preparation before coloring starts. The first thing you're going to need to do is to open a copy of your character model sheet. Then, add a new folder and name it however you want to name it, maybe a character plus CLR, just so things can be organized. Then, go ahead and add a new raster layer for each of the parts of the character. You don't have to have one layer per part. As long as each layer has the same color, you can have as many as 3, 4, or 5 parts in one layer. Just make sure that you know which part has which color. Next, select a layer and change the layer color. In this case, we are first going to start with the skin layer, and we go ahead and go to the layer color and we change it to whatever the skin layer is by using the eyedropper tool. Do the same for the rest of the parts. In this case, the red dress, we change the layer color to the red dress, and so on and so forth. Now that you essentially have your layered color palette ready, click the folder and make sure to copy it by pressing Ctrl+C. Next, head on over to your animation file and create a new animation folder and rename that CLR for color. Next, add a new animation cell in the first frame and press Ctrl+G to turn that animation cell into a folder. Then, paste the folder that you had copied from your color palette file. As you can see, we already have all of the layers, each with their own layer color. Next, make sure to select the pure black color and use whatever fill tool you are most comfortable using. In this case, we are just using the very simple paint bucket tool. Select the layer that you wish to color, in this case the skin, and use the fill tool to fill the colors in. Make sure to only use pure black for the color fills. Any other color or any other shade will change the color that you have already prepared. Move to the next layers and do the same, using the layer names as your guide as to which parts should be colored. The next step is to apply the same color palette layers into the next frames. You don't have to copy-paste in order to do this. All you need to do is go to the next frame, select New Animation Cell, and immediately, as you can see in the layer panel, it will port over the layer palette that you have already prepared. Fill up each layer again the same way you had done previously. You may add a new animation cell as you go along, or you can add new animation cells for every new frame before you go ahead and color. Again, you don't need to worry about the color palettes not being ported over to the new frame or new animation cell, as Clipstudio Paint automatically carries over your color palette into the next frame. And that is how we at NSTD Studios add color palettes in our Clipstudio Paint EX animation folders to speed up our coloring process. I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our socials at NSTD Studios to be updated with our latest animations and tutorials.